Welcome to the Bougie Multipreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Hillary Hushauer-Jones. Tune into my show where we discuss how to attract more money so you can spend more money. Welcome back to the Bougie Multipreneur. I'm your host, Dr. Hillary Hushauer. Hi, let's be honest. If we waited to feel motivated before doing the hard things, most of us wouldn't get very far. There are days when you wake up energized, inspired, and full of ideas. And then there are days you wake up where you're like, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to make decisions. I don't want to think one more thought. And yet you still have to show up. Today, we're going to talk about how to stay motivated when you're not in a motivated state, why motivation is unreliable and what works better, how to use willpower, timing, food, and brain prep to keep going, and how to build systems that carry you when motivation disappears. Let's talk about motivation versus willpower. So, motivation is emotional, willpower is behavioral. So, motivation would say, I feel like doing this. Willpower says, I'm doing this because I decided to. One of the biggest mind shifts that I've made, and one that I teach my coaching clients, is that we have to stop waiting to feel motivated, start acting from commitment. This aligns with some of the authors I read, such as like James Clear, who talks about identity-based habits, where you don't rise to motivation, you fall to your systems. So instead of asking, how do I feel today? Ask, what's the next right action? We're business owners. We got to sometimes take this feeling out of it, and we need to do. We need action. We need to just do it, but do it correctly and do it in a systematic way, right? When is your brain like actually the best at working? Because motivation isn't just like mental, it's biological. So here are a few like practical brain-based strategies that you can use and that I use. So work with your brain energy, not against it. So most people and this is including me, I have a high focus window early in the day. The morning's the best for me, and I can usually go an hour to 2 hours where I have the most energy, focus, and the most creativity. But midday, I can't stay focused very well. I'm not very creative. Sometimes I'll get a second wind energy like later, like after dinner time, but not often. So I have to do certain tasks in the morning because that's my best energy time. So think about your brain and when are you at your best? There's a whole bunch of quizzes and stuff you can take too. I forget the names off the top of my head, but you can learn when your best and your most creative energy is too. So for instance, like deep thinking with strategy and writing is usually best in the morning. Whereas like admin, emails, scheduling, these are like some basic things. You could do these in the afternoon. I feel like these don't require a lot of brain power. And then in the evening time, you might think of your creative brainstorming or visioning. So something to think about, how do you need to rework your schedule? That way you will feel motivated. We're not lazy. We're just misaligned, if you will. And as a chiropractor, we love those terms, misaligned. Food does matter more than we want to admit to. So if you are lacking in your motivation could crash from skipping meals, having too much sugar, not enough protein, or not enough hydration, right? And we know these things. We know we're supposed to have enough protein, drink enough water, not have sugar. But are you skipping meals? Something to think about. I do find that it's a constant struggle for me to make sure I have enough protein every day. It's like I'm counting my protein all the time. And the water, how many glasses was that I had? But some simple things we could do during our day. We could have more protein and fat in the mornings, like eggs or yogurt. Or my favorite is a protein shake because I feel like I'm always busy, and I have some really clean protein shakes, and I know I'm getting exactly 30 grams right then, and I'm good. Try to also have some water before you do your caffeine. For me, I love a good green like drink in the morning with water. And that kind of just gets me going. I also don't love taking a lot of vitamins. So if it's ground up in a green drink or in a protein shake or in a smoothie, I'm there for it. And then avoid heavy carbs before deep work because we can't expect our brain to perform if we're under fueled. So watch your food, right? Think about that. Maybe even have a little food journal for a week and see how your brain does with different food. But what are we going to do on our low days? Like, how are we going to stay motivated? So lower the bar, right? Don't remove the bar, but lower it. On low days, you don't need to do everything on the list, but you need to do something. So instead of saying like, I need to finish this whole project, try, I'm going to work on this for 10 minutes. You might, after 10 minutes, think, I can do another 10 minutes, right? But don't have the high expectation like you have to finish it all on one day. Also, I don't procrastinate because that never helps me work better. If you're a procrastinator and you thrive on that, great. If not, most of us don't do really well with that. So try to pre-plan things out in increments during your week. So if you know by Friday something's due, then you have 5 days to break it up. So also you could borrow some of your motivation from your environment. So you could change your location, right? You could go work somewhere else. You could put a new music like work playlist on. And there's even certain tones that help your brainwaves. Put on something different, light a candle, do something, wear a certain outfit for work mode. If you're not motivated in your pajamas at home, in your scrubs at work, then why don't you put on some nice clothes and a blazer, and it's time to work now. And your brain does respond to cues. There's also different scents you could use. So you could have certain scents that you only use during like your energy time, your work time. I don't know if I would use lavender and relax or anything, but you could use something. Maybe it's like an orange scent or a spearmint or eucalyptus, something like that. But make decisions ahead of time before you're tired. So for example, like when I don't feel like it, I'll still show up for 20 minutes, right? This is the type of things I say to myself when I'm going to the gym. I don't want to do this, but I'll do it for 20 minutes. I always stay the full time, but I say in my mind, oh, fine, I'll do it for 20 minutes. And I don't negotiate with myself on weekdays. So weekends might be a different story for you, but during the week, I have to stay motivated and I will continue. Decision fatigue kills motivation, but structure saves it. Have some structure. Know what your day looks like, your week looks like. What else could we do to prepare our brains for better days? We could try walking, right? But without podcasts. Let your brain just go and don't have anything inputting into it. Just walk with no noise, actually, right? Write down ideas without judgment. Just write. Just write. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be complete sentences. Just jot some things down. I know that when I'm driving, I have a lot of like great ideas and thoughts, and I always wish I had someone to write them down. So use your like voice notes app on your phone and just verbally spit them out. And if you are stuck on something, just step away, do something else for a little bit. You know, sometimes our best ideas come after you stop pushing it. And also, this is where like the mentorship and coaching matters because clarity can come faster when you're not in your own head. So reach out to your mentor or your business coach and get help. Just reach out. I know, for instance, I love helping my coaching clients with creating systems. That way they don't have to rely on the motivation. It just is a system and it's a wheel and it keeps going, right? You structure your days around your energy and not around guilt of having to do something. And then build momentum in the hard seasons. There's a different season in every business. Some of them are easy, some of them are hard. Keep going. Know your seasons. Know you might have an easy season coming up, but right now you're in the hard hustle season. Keep going. With your coach, talk about better alignment and support and strategy during the hard season for you, and if you don't have a coach, reach out. This is what I do. And if you don't want to work with me, I have a lot of other coaches, and I even have I have a great coach I can refer you to. So if today feels heavy, let this be your permission slip. You don't need to feel motivated to move forward. Just pick one small action today. Do it imperfectly, fine. And trust that the consistency beats your inspiration every time. So if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs it, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for listening. Click subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, and let's make some money.